Hey guys, good morning. Happy Friday. It's Daryl here. It is 7:30 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. I've been avoiding making this video for a while in the last couple days, or as long as these protests, riots, looting have been going on in Minneapolis. The reason I avoided making this video is because, like I told you guys, I have a tendency to speak honestly or from my heart, how I feel. And I'll do that. How this will be taken, I don't know. Okay, the protests, the looting, the violence. Do I support it? No, not at all. Violence of any sort is, as you guys know, I've gone down that road before many times in my life, and I have never felt good. I've talked about that to you guys in the videos where I don't know if it's because of my size or my situation. I've gotten into a large number of fights in my life, and I've won a lot and I've lost a lot. I probably lost more than I won, to be honest with you guys. And even when I won, I never felt good about it. I've never ever felt good about violence. This is the truth, though, is I understand it. I can completely understand the frustration and anger that it goes to that level. When something like this keeps occurring, like I said, if I use empathy and put myself, try as best I can to put myself in the position of, say, a African-American father my age with a son in college, and say he's got a night job, he comes home at 2 a.m. I can't imagine being scared for his life every single night, even though he's a good kid. What if he gets pulled over by the wrong cop? What if he says or does the wrong thing and gets murdered by the people that are supposed to protect him? That's got to be a terrible way to live, especially if you're a good person. You go through life being a law-abiding person. That's nobody in America should have to live with that kind of stuff. I gotta watch my language when I'm making this video. It gets to a point. This is what I want to say. Look at, again, I'm going to refer back to Colin Kaepernick. Okay? You tried going the peaceful route. You tried to make a point. He tried to make a point by doing something that he knew would grab attention. Not to be disrespectful to the flag, but he did it to get attention that a lot of unarmed black people are being killed. Way too many. And he tried to bring attention to that through a peaceful means. And the whole conservative side of the country looked at him as a son of a bitch, in Trump's own words. Peaceful protest. So it continues on, and everybody just turns a blind eye to it. I think Caucasian people, white people, the rest of us only see this once in a while, these examples here and there, videotaped on YouTube or Twitter. But I imagine African-American people live this every single day of their life. This crap they got to go through every day with the just living their lives and being looked at, being treated differently. I always look at stuff like this like it could be me. It could be me next. I know there's a saying, it's a poem. It said something about first they came to take the Jewish people and I didn't say anything. Then they came to take the Christians and I didn't say anything. And it gets to the end and it says, then they came for me and there was nobody left to protect me. I'm sure you guys have all heard that. That always struck me very hard. That's how I look at things. That's the reason why I talk out about stuff like this. So anyway, back to that. So Colin Kaepernick and people like him tried to do what they felt obligated to do because they had a platform where they're high visibility and they wanted to bring attention to this injustice, the way that this whole part of society has to live with this fear and this worry of being mistreated, hurt, or killed by the people that are supposed to protect them. So he tries to do the right thing, and a peaceful protest, and people wouldn't have it. Call him a son of a bitch, and he's a traitor, and he's unpatriotic. He hates the flag, and it's obviously they didn't get it, or they didn't want to get it. They didn't want to get the point. It wasn't about the flag. It wasn't about the national anthem. So what do you do next? And it keeps happening. You see, I can imagine you see your cousin, a friend from college being killed, being pulled over, being beaten with a nightstick, tased, pulled over every week. And you see this going on. And then you get this with a cop kneeling on somebody's neck. And then it gets to a point where people don't even want to acknowledge peaceful protests like Colin Kaepernick. So what do? You get angry. It boils over. I can completely understand it. I don't think, I never condone violence. I've never felt good using violence. I was going to say nothing good ever comes out of violence, but that's not even true. Look at the American Revolution. So that's not true. It's a last resort. And I can understand that a lot of this segment of society feels like it's a last resort. I also want to say, along with the people that are protesting and are just infuriated and have had it with this going on, there's going to be people that take advantage of this situation that really don't care too much about what's being protested and are just in on it to grab a TV set or whatever. And there's, no matter what your color, there's going to be people that have less than higher moral standards, white or black. It's not just one race that has a monopoly on being a greedy person. One last thing I want to bring up. Remember in Virginia there, I forgot what the protest was about, but when that girl got ran over by the car, the group of protesters there, and she got killed by that car that reversed. I'm sorry if I can't remember. And then the Tiki Torch protest, when Donald Trump called them, they're very fine people, very fine people. And now people in Minneapolis are all thugs. They're thugs. I can understand people looking at this from the other side and saying, this is disgusting. This is just violence for the sake of violence. Again, I think it's people that don't understand the frustration, that don't want to understand the frustration. The people that don't think the people that actually say that there's been, Obama caused all the race problems there. It was fine before he took office. People like that probably will never want to understand or never want to understand the frustration behind this. This is what happens. This is what happens when you have people like Colin Kaepernick trying to do the right thing, trying to have a peaceful protest, trying to draw attention to life and death situations in his community, amongst his culture, and it's ignored. And this is what's going to happen. It's inevitable. It really is. People have a fuse, have a finite limit of the abuse they can take, and it boils over. And I can completely understand it. It is what it is. It's the result. It's the result of our society, the way what's happening. And it's not just their fault. It's not them being thugs. It's them being ignored for too long, their concerns. People like Colin Kaepernick and African Americans, and the situation with this ridiculous stuff where black people are constantly called out just for living their daily lives, jogging, bird watching, working out in a gym. And I can completely understand the frustration. It gets to a point where you try to do the right thing, and people ignore you. So it boils over, and you get what you have here today. And it's all of our faults. All right, you guys have a good Friday.